right, in our previous video, we were actually looking to see if there was a significant difference in the mean valve opening of these 24 valves. We did a ANOVA single factor, and we definitely saw that our F test statistic was greater than the F critical, or the p-value was less than the alpha. So now what we want to do is try to figure out which ones, okay, of these have the difference in the means. And so we want to compare like machine operator 1 with machine operator 2, machine operator 1 with machine operator 3, and so on. Well, if you want to know how many comparisons you have to do, and this is kind of good to know, that way you won't miss one, because I could sit here and I can say 1 with 2, and then 1 with 3, and then 1 with 4. But to be sure that I get all of these, I can actually get the number of comparisons with a formula, which the formula, and I'm going to start because all of this is going to be the numerator, is the number of classifications that I have. There's 4 different machine operators, times the number of classifications minus 1. So all that's the numerator, and then divided by 2. So this tells me when I list these, I better have 6 of them. Well, then I know I could compare 2 with 3, and 2 with 4, and then 3 with 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know I'm finished. All right, to get the critical difference, I'm going to use this formula where this Q is a studentized range table that you can either find out on the internet or in a textbook. And so if I look, notice my C is 4. N is the total number, which in this case is 24. So 24 minus 4 would be 20. So I'm going to be looking under 4 and 20. So I just went out on the internet and found this table. And if I go to 4 and 20, you can see I get this value. And I'm going to go ahead and round it to 3.96. So I'm going to put that in here because I'm going to reference it. And now I can do my formula. Now, this won't be a straight copy, but I'll be able to copy a lot of the same values. So I'm going to start with the equal. It says put the Q first. This is some value that I always want to reference, so I'm going to do an absolute reference times the square root. Well, my mean squared error is right here. All right, from my table, and that's something I'll always reference the same value, then divided by 2, so that's the fraction, times 1 over the sample size for the first sample, plus 1 over the sample size for the second sample, close my parentheses, and then close my square root. All right, so this gives me my critical difference. My actual difference, and notice you want to absolute value these, so I start with ABS for absolute value. Then I'm just actually finding the differences in their means, which is over here, this column. So sample 1, or machine 1, minus machine 2, and close my absolute value. All right, and so what we're looking for is when the critical difference, okay, when the critical difference is less than the absolute value actual difference. So in this case, it's not, and so there would be no difference here. All right, so I continue to do these. Now, notice I can kind of copy this, but it's not going to work perfectly. And I can just go in here and see what do I need to change. So this is 1 and 3. I know I need to change this sample size to 1. And that sample size looks like it already moved down to 3. So that would be the next value. The next one, I'm double clicking on these. I need category 1 again. And then I need 4, which looks like that one changed just fine. The next one, I need to divide by the sample size of machine 2, and then the sample size of 3. And then the next one, so notice this is kind of nice because I'm only having to change the N1 and N2. So this is sample size of 2, and then sample size of 4. And then finally, the last one, I have 3 and 4. So 3 sample size and 4. All right, so I have all of these values. Again, here I could copy this, but it's probably going to be pretty wrong. So I'm just going to type these. So my absolute value of 1 minus 3, my absolute value of 1 minus 4, my absolute value of 2 minus 3, my absolute value of 2 minus 4, and my absolute value of 3 minus 4. So still a little bit quicker than doing it in your actual calculators. And from here, I probably would make all of these match the same decimal places, just so it makes easy for comparisons. So I can either look at them, or you can actually type in Excel, you can say if this value is less than that value, then type there's a difference. Otherwise, say no difference. And so notice the first one, no difference. And this is something I can copy straight down. So I can see I have 3. Let's just make those red. And all 3 of them seem to involve machine 3, which we could kind of see had the largest mean. So we can definitely see that machine operator number 3 has the biggest difference between all of these with the valves.